no pretty pictures. This is a little more on the academic side. It's about watershed literacy and engagement. And we started the League of Women Voters of the Lake Michigan region project to have 100 watershed meetings in honor of 100 years of the League. And we got busy putting together tools. We had grants to do stormwater. We had, We had grant money to purchase a watershed model, a great big EnviroFacts model where you can take it around and do tabling at different events. And we also have been participating with the League of Women Voters of Upper Mississippi on a lot of these, but looking at how we get the message out. So you know your zip code, you know your area code, but how many people in here know your HUC code? So EPA and the USGS got together. They named all the watersheds in the United States, and it's a science-based address. And it's important because it tells you what's flowing in your watershed and helps you to figure out where your problems might be. You will see that there are major large watersheds, and it's kind of counterintuitive. The smaller the number, the larger the watershed. And why they decided to do that, I'll never know. But why you need to do watersheds is because water flows generally in a certain direction within a basin. It does not follow your political boundaries. And that's really important to know because there may be places where your water is being polluted, but it's not even in your political boundary. So what you need to do is you need a community-led process. You need to bring people together who impact the watershed and also are in the watershed. And in order to do that, you need to understand your watershed. So one of the things that we got grant funding for, and it was the League of Women Voters of Wisconsin actually got the grant, but the League of Women Voters of Lake Michigan region was working on it. We got funding for 4, and we looked at the different elements of what made this watershed fact sheet so important and why we would need to redo those. We also added one. What you're looking at there is a picture of the 33 8-digit HUC watersheds, and that gives you a good opportunity. Most people want 12, and for the same area of Lake Michigan, there would be over 1,500 12-digit HUCs. So the watersheds, they list the sub-watersheds. They give you the overview of the other groups that you need to coordinate with or cooperate with, and then some of the significant elements. Where are the sources of the information that you need? And that's one of the things that we try to do with each of these 4 watershed projects. We had different people, and they were assigned different federal, state, or local agencies. So you had an overview. Element 2 was these other watershed groups. You can also go online, surf your watershed, and find out who else is working in your watershed. I did pass around a poor copy of this presentation so you could capture some of the websites. The watershed overview is important because it not only gives you maps, it talks about if there's been other grant projects like 319 out of the Clean Water Act that would have basic information for you, if any of your wetlands are in the National Wetland Inventory. Element 4 is your land use. You need to work if you have a local planning agency. NOAA has a fabulous coastal website, and they look at coastal change, but this would not be for interior states, it's for the coastal areas. Element 5 is impaired waters. That's a body of water that the state has said it's not meeting our water quality standards, and it is then impaired, and it needs a TMDL to figure out what the total maximum daily load of pollutants are for that. And then you see a list that looks something like what you see on the screen, and that gets down to you know, even sub watersheds, so you can figure out what some of your problems are. One of the things that was not in the original fact sheets that we did add was element 6 for drinking water solutions. Everybody, every single person needs to know where their source of water is, and also what is going on with the procedure for delivering it to you. And every year by federal law, you must get a consumer confidence report. If you haven't seen that, you need to find it out. People in Michigan are now in jail because they lied on that consumer confidence report in Flint, Michigan. Element 7 is to be decided. You may have a unique species, something that you really want to protect, and you can add that in. I almost made it.